DMV today. Start 15 minutes early. Sorry, I missed Thursday, I missed Friday and Saturday. Had the stomach flu real bad. Hope everybody's well. Good to see you. And we're live. Gonna do an hour walk. All right, we're live. All right, we're back. We're about 15 minutes early. I had to start 15 minutes early. I got a board to do an hour walk today. We're back on track. Today starts the 6-week official weigh, and we lost 10 pounds in 5 weeks. And we missed 2 days. So I think we're doing good. Believe it or not, I was able to put on some pants that I couldn't even button at 240. So dropping to 10 pounds, dropped a couple sizes back in the waist, at least 2 sizes for sure. Figured 10 pounds, about 2 sizes. I got 30 more pounds to go. And if I did 10 pounds in 5 weeks, I want to do 20 the next 5 weeks. So I really got to buckle down. I knew it would finally start dropping once I make it 5 straight weeks without any soda or candy bars. You know, swelling going down, a lot of water weight. And they still say you carry 15 pounds, up to 15 pounds of poop in your system, in your body. So maybe I'll get that. Maybe I'll go get go to the colonoscopy, get all cleaned out. Go to my colonoscopy doctor, see if I can drop 15 pounds from there. That'll be great. Want to hit 200 and stay there, and not go a pound over. Hello, Chris Mack. Afternoon, sir. How are you? Welcome. Hello, Mason in Portland. Everything's good. I'm trying to see, can I cross down? No, I cannot. Of course. Danger zone. So like I said, we start the 6-week today, official weigh, and we lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds in 5 full weeks with missing 2 days last week. I had a bad stomach flu. I eat a lot of fish. I go to the market, I buy it fresh. And when I bought it, I didn't cook it that day. And I almost forgot about it that I had them in there. They were wrapped individually. I had 2 pieces. I waited 3 days before I cooked it. And I'll tell you what, after I ate it that afternoon, that night I went down. Oh man, it was a nightmare. More miserable with the stomach flu than any time I've ever been in the hospital. Just finally over. It was a bad experience, but I was happy when I officially weighed in yesterday. And 10 pounds, I guess, for 5 weeks, that ain't too bad. I would have liked to be more like 15. How you doing, sir? How are you? More like 15 or 16 pounds, but I'm grateful. 10 pounds means I'm doing something right. I know I ain't drinking no soda and I ain't eating no candy bar. So, and I'm eating as healthy as I can. It's very expensive. I'm grateful for all the help people give me. We got the PayPal at JoeyC0120 for the fund for the. We're to raise as much money for the plane tickets for California. Spider is going, so we want to get as close as we can. We're going to be meeting Mason. Mason's flying in. DG's going to be chauffeuring us, I think, and helping us out with that. We're going to meet Hack Ride, TSN. We're going to have a ball. So, today's the 11th, 11 days. I make my fan appearance at the WATP event. A lot of people have been asking El Horrible, what's my role, or am I just a fan, a spectator? No, I'm invited. I don't know how Carl's going to use me in the show, but he did invite me to be at the meet and greet. And he is going to use me in the show in some capacity. I have no knowledge. So I'm not just going as a fan. I'm going as an invite to be introduced to all Carl's fans. I get to meet El Reblay, Chucky, Cardiff. A little disappointed. I was looking forward to meeting OJ for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess he announced he's not coming. Supposed to be a lot of big fans. A lot of fans coming in from all over the place, so I'm excited. So that's going to be cool. That's 11 days. What's going on? Hello, Miss Alien. How are you? Welcome. Who else we got with us? Yeah, well, looking forward. Really looking forward if you're going to be there. God, it might be the greatest day of my life if you show up. You're coming all the way from the UK though, huh? Or you're home on the West Coast. Where you at? Yeah, I'm going back to jail, yeah, am I? What's that for? What am I going to jail for? Huh? A serial killer, what am I going to jail for? Enlighten me. What does it say? You're looking definitely healthier. Thank you, yeah. I feel 10 pounds, it don't seem like a lot, but it's a lot to me, so. Losing 10 pounds and coming back 2 sizes off my waist is a start, so. 30 pounds, I got 30 more pounds is my goal. We'll see what happens, but I'm definitely going to stay dedicated and true to it. So no doubt this is what I want. I need it to happen, and it will happen. So my mind's already programmed to make it happen. Well, thank you. You know, one thing I can tell you, when you get old and old age starts sinking in, it's for any man, it's a hard thing to accept. It really is. You never think that day's gonna come, but you know, a lot of things that I was told by my grandparents. You know, when you're young, your heart's not as soft. You know, you stand tall. You got piss and vinegar running through your veins. You can conquer the world. Then you get old, your heart softens. You start growing a conscience. You start dwelling on things that you did, and then the old age sinks in. It's like no man wants to hear that DMV say, "We have to take your driver's license away so you're not capable to drive anymore." That's something a man don't want to hear, right? And I imagine there's certain things a woman don't want to hear when she gets up there in age. So I know I regret the day. I hope I could drive until the day I die. I hope, I plan on being around till about 92. So I hope I could drive all the way to that last day, but you never know. They seem you deemed unfit that you can't drive and you're a threat, driving behind the wheel, they take your license. I know no man, at least this man don't want to ever hear that. Even though it's a privilege to drive, it's not, it's a privilege when you get a driver's license. It's not something that, you earn a driver's license, the right to drive, so. And I like having my license. I like to drive. Can you believe the other day, man, I'm walking the same way where that sun is beating down. But my phone's okay today. I can't let it get hot. The other day, my phone was so hot, man, it just shut down everything. Couldn't turn that button on for YouTube or nothing. It was overheating. So, let me ask somebody something. I'll tell you what. I'd rather be shot 10 times than to go through the stomach flu. I'd be lay in the hospital with 10 bullets in me on life support than I have to go with what the stomach flu does to you. Oh my God. Woo! I'm glad this weekend's over. Man, oh man. I learned a lesson there. When you buy something for us to cook that day, you better cook it. Otherwise, you're going to pay the price. Not a pleasant thing. It's starting to heat up in Tampa, though, man. It's I don't know how much longer before the humidity starts kicking in, because I don't know if anybody who's ever been to Florida knows Florida. It's brutal here when it's 100% humidity, and it gets that. Florida in the summer is a bad nightmare. You think Arizona in August, you can't even bear to go out during the day. Nevada's the same way. 115, 120, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, dry heat though. It's smoldering hot. The difference between Arizona, Florida's humidity. The elderly people in Arizona, they look like dried up prunes, leather, shoe leather, their skin. And Florida, the sweat's pouring off, So two miserable places for the elderly. Now I understand why my uncle, he's 80 years old, he said he's not going to Florida or Arizona, staying right in Chicago. He likes the seasons. And he thinks that's what he's done his whole life, and he said that's what's keeping him healthy and alive. If he went to Arizona, he said he would have dried up like a prune. And with the Florida, with that humidity, he probably would have checked out 10 years. I gotta say, he might be right for some people. Arizona, if I didn't leave, let's see, what did I say? If I didn't leave in 08, I spent some time in Arizona, where the Rangers moved their spring training facility, and We got the Fall League out there where all the prospects go. The Arizona Fall League. It starts around for the minor leagues around late September, October. I think it's about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It might even be 5 weeks. I don't remember. It's been a while. The Arizona Fall League is all the prospects, first rounders, second rounders, that go in there, showcase them. That's their first actual professional games after signing out of the draft. They go to the Arizona Fall League if they're top draft picks. So it's just a way the team showcase them. Or they send them to the Dominican or Venezuela. Some guys go play winter ball. I think from what I know, what players say, they make a lot more money in the Dominican. They get cash. They said it's unbelievable. The owners of those teams in the Dominican, they come down on payday with cash, boxes of cash. They pay all the players cash, bundles of cash, whoever the big name is. A lot of players look forward to winter baseball because that's where they make a lot of cash money that they get accustomed to. I don't know. When I left baseball in 2015, I think it was 40-something% Latino ball players, and they predicted by the end of the 20s to be like 85%. American people just ain't playing baseball anymore. It's a shame. Thank you. American pastime. Greatest sport in the world. Thank you. So, trying to I gotta go renew my tags today, so get it closed at 5. So I'm gonna do an hour walk and then go over to DMV and renew my license plates. Gotta show, every time you renew, you gotta show your insurance. Bring in a new copy of the insurance, give you the little sticker, and you're good to go for a year. I've been this is for my second vehicle. I really don't drive much, but the law states you can't, unless it's in a garage, you gotta have it plated. So I don't want no. You get what do they call that? The city code enforcement come around, and they could be jerks. You know, they're just looking for a handout. But so I don't want those kind of troubles. I just renew the van, even though I don't drive it that much. So. Gotta do it. So it's either that, or if I had it at my house, I put it in my garage if I wasn't driving, and I would not have to worry because no one can see it on a public outside. So, but unfortunately, right now I gotta keep it. I got no garage, so I gotta do what I'm supposed to do. It's that simple. You know what sucks in Florida? The older you get, the more your insurance jacks up. That's a fact. All the elderly people in Florida are penalized for insurance at a higher rate due to all the casualties on US 19 by teenagers just getting their license, and of course the elderly people who shouldn't be driving anymore cause a lot of accidents. Florida is probably the highest insurance rate for senior citizens. Now, according to Florida, not according to the government, according to Florida, the state, you're a senior citizen at 55. Because you can move into a 55 plus park, you can go to early bird dinners, all that crazy stuff. You're considered to get all the senior stuff. But if you look at it on a federal scale, 65, you're considered a senior citizen. So, Florida, you get all the perks at 55 and above. So, it makes me feel old. Yeah, so I'm a senior citizen. Oh, that sounds terrible. Why? How do I get back 30 years of my life? Someone build me a time machine. Let me go back in time. If there was a time machine that existed, where would you guys go back to? What would be childhood? Someone relative that passed away that was big influence in your life? Would you go back to those times so they're alive again? What would you do? If I had 3 wishes, do you know what my 3 wishes would be? I know everybody's gonna say you want all the money in the world. Nope, not even close. If I had 3 wishes, my first wish would be for my daughter to have her. My second wish is to spend one day with my grandparents. And my third wish is to me to live to 100 years old. And health, and happiness. Anybody can make money. It's easy. If you're not a hustler, you can make money. So yeah, I wouldn't want to curse myself by saying I want all the money in the world as a wish. Those three things mean the world to me. So that would be my three wishes if I was granted three wishes. So in a time machine, I would go back definitely to where my grandparents were here. Do you ever dwell something you've done in your past and said, but if I would have took this less road traveled and I went down this road, would my course of my life would have been different? But just think about that. Everybody's supposed to have a path, right? It's all written. So if you go against what's written and you try to alter your lifestyle in any way, and you did that, maybe you wouldn't have had the children you got. Could have changed your whole life. Maybe you could have been a millionaire. Maybe you could have been a homeless person your whole life. You don't know. That's why you never mess with time. It's in the past you leave it. You worry about today and hope the future is better. We're not promised tomorrow. That's why when you pray at night, now I lay my soul to sleep. Because you don't know if you're going to wake up. You pray that your soul is kept and it makes it to heaven. That's the way I look at it. That's how I look at life. I'm in one of my deep moods today. Started this morning on the Kai show. I'm feeling, what can I say, content. I'm happy about the 10 pounds. But just, I know this is important, and it really is to me to do this, to make this happen, and I won't stop until I get to the 200 pounds. So, and I'm not gonna stop then. Once you get there, you gotta stay there, right? You gotta keep it off. You gotta still eat right. You still gotta eat healthy. I don't miss soda. I thought I would, and I drank a lot of soda in my life, man. Oh my God. I think one day I was doing a stream and someone was adding up 12 cans of Coke to 12-ounce cans. The sugar amount was taken that day. The numbers were so off the chart. I don't even know how I was alive with that much sugar intake. How I came this close to being a diabetic. If I didn't stop, I would probably already being a diabetic. So I think I altered that by changing my diet. He said that's one way to bring it down, cholesterol and all your stuff, and change your diet. I could fix that really, which I did. So got rid of the sugar. And even though I was enjoying drinking Gatorade, my son goes, a lot of sugar in Gatorade, and he was right. So I don't even buy that anymore. So I'm enjoying water. I didn't know what I was missing. I'm happy with it, but I'm just content today. My mind is in a good place. It's getting stronger. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate anybody. When I'm attacked, I attack back. That's simple. I don't wish nobody no harm. I just wish certain people would smarten up and accept defeat and move on with your life. I think it'll be a better place for everybody. What we got here? Miss Honeybee, hello. How are you? Yes, I am, man. Thank you. I will. Like I said, it all comes down to one day. I got to be true to me, first and foremost. You can't love another person if you don't love yourself and respect yourself. You just can't. You can't respect yourself, you're not going to respect nobody. If you can't love yourself, you're not going to love them. You can't give nobody love. Something that I experienced growing up as a child just wasn't in the cards. My mom was both father and mother, strong woman, but just not emotional woman. She didn't have time for emotions. She just very headstrong, my mother. She had to teach me what a father's supposed to teach me and be a mother at the same time. So my mom was hardcore. She didn't, I think my fight in me, as much as I look and got a lot of my dad's mannerisms, I'm my mother through and through. That woman, the strongest woman I ever did know, is my mother. She's just unbelievable. Good woman. I've had many differences with my mother. I never once cussed in front of her. Never once yelled at my mother. I stayed away for a lot of years because of the lifestyle I chose. And I didn't want my mother to see that. She didn't deserve to see those things. She didn't deserve her oldest son acting like an idiot in his younger years. I had too much respect for my mother, so she's, for the most part, my mother's pretty healthy. She'll probably live into 100, my mother. I know her mother lived into her 90s. Her grandmother lived into the 90s. The women, they just live forever. Men are the one that check out. You know, it's like when you work for a job for 40 years, but you were miserable in that job. I understand it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, it's what you got to do. You know, you got to work. You got to take care of. You got a family. A lot of men have took jobs and worked careers and they were miserable. I couldn't do it. I had to do something. Maybe it wasn't so top shelf money, but I had to be happy. If I was happy, then I could keep decent drug quality at home. And that's just, for me, a guy like me. It worked for me. Probably a gamble what I did, but it worked. It was in my favor to do something I enjoyed. So, not saying it's the best move, but for me it worked. That's all I can say. For that, I count my blessings. How's everybody doing today? This Monday. What are we, March 11th? Spring break coming up. All the spring breakers will come down to Florida, go to the beach, get drunk, throw wild parties, make a fool out of himself, get arrested. Same stuff every year. This is the March is where everything's jacked up in Florida. It's the spring break. They gouge everything. The hotels are jacked up. Like, let's say in the off season, a hotel is $75, $80. They try to get $250 a night in some of the motels, not hotel, motel, dive motels, all up and down Clearwater, Gulf to Bay. That's all a bad area going down to the beach. It's all those little crack motels and, you know, people that live there, pay weekly rent. They're nothing to brag about. But the snowbirds come down and they rape them for a room. So it's embarrassing, you know. But that's what they do. It's like when you got a hurricane coming and they claim there's a gas shortage, everybody gas up. They gouge the prices. It's sad how they take it to the people got to pay all the price for something that's a natural disaster. You know, so just facts. It's how it is. That's why I laugh. I laugh so hard at what these people are saying. I don't concept the fail. I scam them. I scammed people. What did I scam anybody out of? I don't get it. They still can't be clear on that one. What did I gain by them saying that? Who did I scam? I scam any of you guys? No, I don't think so. I've been a threat with most of the people in my chat room. I've respected the people that respected me. I've said hateful things to people that are even in the chat room. But if they attack me, I attack them. That's just the way it is. They don't like that. People that want to be mean all the time, they just want to be able to do it and not nobody bite back. That's the problem. But I told everybody, you know, never, ever, ever be too confident about anything. Just never know. In a blink of an eye, your whole life can be, you know, I can walk across the street. No, when I'm focusing on that lane of cars turning, someone will come around the corner drunk here and kill me. I didn't have a chance. Like that. Your life's before you. And I could say that to be a fact. I don't know if anybody's been in a life and death situation in their life where they were almost checked out. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. It's especially on anything that was a major tragedy. Whether it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's probably the worst 10 or 15 minutes of your entire life. I went through it a couple times, man, and I know there has to be a God up there because to live was a miracle. That's all I could say. So there's got to be. Definitely got to be a heaven. So So I got a really bad, really tough outfit to wear for the WATP. It'll be here tomorrow. Nice two-piece velour, teal color. Bad, it's bad to the bone. I'll showcase it tomorrow. Should I dye my hair? Should I get rid of these grays when I get my hair cut? I'm getting the shade here, see what's going on. Well, thank you, Mr. Doodles. I'm your fan. I do love dogs. Quit saying I don't. I've had dogs my whole life. One of my favorite animals. My first dog in my life was a Doberman Pinscher. You don't see a lot of them now because pit bulls are the main dog that everybody seems to like. You like poodles. I had a Doberman Pinscher, and my uncle had a little poodle named Princess. He loved that dog. Died of natural causes, and then he went out and got another poodle, called that Princess too. Yeah. And now his third one, I think he had now. After that one passed, is Princess 3, I believe. He's 80 years old. He's had 3 poodles in his life, or maybe more than that, probably 4. This could be on the 4th one. He named them all the same name. I understand people, some people that don't have regular children, their dogs and cats are their children. It's respect there for me. You know, I respect any pet owner that treats their pet like it's their son or daughter. You know, they get the best doctors, the best care, get all their shots, get them warm, all that good stuff that they need to make them healthy. I respect that. I do. I had a sad story once. Gentleman, you know, I told you the off season, I hacked a cab for a long time. During baseball when I wasn't working when the winter studies. And I had this gentleman call to go to the airport. His mother passed away, and he was going to Jersey. He lived in, he just moved to Florida. He had a condo here, but his mother was still in Jersey. She passed. And the morning that he got the phone call, he had a little bitty York Terrier, I think it was. You know, those real little dogs. And he always would take the dog out back to do its business about 4 or 5 in the morning. Well, now he's rushing because, you know, his mother just passed. And he's nervous because he didn't have a reservation, so he didn't know, but he wanted me to get him, didn't know if I was going to be on time. And I got there. He told me what happened. I got appointment I had. I gave it to someone else to get this guy because you know, his mother, he was like on tears on the phone. I got to get to the airport, please. I just be here. And I got there. And then get to the car and I gave him my condolences. And he's crying. I thought, well, okay, it's normal. He's crying. He was crying for his mother, but guess what happened to his dog? He was so discombobulated from his mother dying, he didn't go out back with his dog. He just let the little dog go out. Pack of coyotes, because he lived behind him was a wooded area. All he found was 4 paws. That's what was left of the dog. The hyenas and coyotes shredded it. And that was like his child. So, I mean, he got double jeopardy in one day. First his mother passed, and within an hour his dog was mauled. And tough trip. That 30-minute ride to the airport was pretty tough. And what do you say to somebody? You know, you just listen, I guess. Best thing for bartenders and cab drivers is be good listeners. A good bartender, good cab driver has the ability to listen to his clients, because you get the angry ones, you get the crazy ones, you get the drunk ones, you get the ones that are just jerk-offs, and then you get the ones that talk too much, then you get the negative ones, and you get ones that are holy rollers. I mean, bad holy rollers. I mean, they're Bible thumping you. You get all kinds of people. I met all kinds of shape, size people with taxi business. Compared to what my friend who was a bartender for, same thing, same kind of clientele. The worst, I will say, the worst client I have ever had, a bunch of 5 drunk women. No. Worse. 5 drunk women, I'm talking belligerently drunk, who wind up fighting with each other. ripping clothes off, cat fighting, scratching eyes out. Insane. Drunk, breathing down you, screaming in your ear. I mean, what are you gonna do? You ain't gonna smack a woman around, so you gotta sit there and you gotta just, bite your tongue. 5 men, you can tell them, you can get confrontation with them. 5 women, you're not gonna, you can't get up and smack a woman. But they're worse drunks than men. I will say that. Something I did not enjoy. The worst is I'll call a couple out in public at a bar, nightclub, and they got in a fight at the club, and he stomped on the woman. So she's got a black eye or busted lip, and she's walking down the highway and she hails a cab. Half her dress is ripped off. She's got no money because he didn't give her no money. And then most cab drivers are gonna say, well, see you later, goodbye. Lady got in the car and she was so dispositive one time. And, that's when you gotta be a gentleman. Because if you go and take advantage of something like that, you're a piece of garbage. And she's crying, I got no money, and she kept leaning to it, and I'm like, listen, I see you look like you got beat up. You gotta worry about paying me. I'm going to a fair, you're on the way, it's on the house. The great thing is the next day when they wake up and they're sober and they realize that someone helped them for a kindness of heart, and they make that phone call, and you get called in and say, you know what, class move what you did. That's the kind of guy I am. That's the true me. Fight the fights you want, you need to. Protect the people that you can. Be a gentleman to as much as you can be. I've cussed a woman. I'm not gonna lie, I've cussed a couple women. I've had a couple women. Like that one night, the 5 drunk ladies in the cab, they were fighting amongst each other, swinging. I think I got smacked a couple times. Bite my tongue and just, slam on the brakes and say, one thing is, you guys fight among yourselves, you ain't putting your hands on me. I don't hit women, but I sure cussed them out. No problem with it. You have to take advantage of a woman and hit her. So I watched my mother get beat around a lot, so it's not a pleasant thing. So my mother lived a hard life in her younger years, so. But, you grow up and you learn, and my mother taught me how to be respectful. My mother taught me something. One day I'll talk about it. I didn't have a dad to give me the sex talk. I had my mother do it. 16 comes around. Here's my mother trying to teach me about sex, which I don't even want to get into it. One day I will. Let's just put it this way. As she's talking to me, within the next 48 hours, at 16, she found out something about me that blew her mind away. So, and I don't know if she was embarrassed, but what did I do? Okay, Mom. All right, Mom. This is we got to talk about this, Mom. I think if you're a smart person, you can understand where I was leading with that. I was already very well versed in sex at 16, so yeah. But my mom was trying to be a dad, so I sat there and listened, even though it killed me. It kills me. That's something your pops are supposed to tell you. So I think I learned from the 4th grade class how some of the little girls and boys who were acting. I told you I didn't grow up in nice neighborhoods, so they were pretty advanced when I went to 4th grade. Today they're even worse. So, but I just thought that was probably an embarrassing moment in my life, having to have that education talk from my mother. But I handled it. What did I say, Ma? I guess, Ma, come on. She said, you just listen to me. I'm telling you something you need to learn. All right, Mom. All right. You know what a condom is? Yeah, Mother. I know what a condom is. Back in my era, that wasn't protocol. In my era, we took a lot of chances. Where today, I think a lot more people protect themselves. My era, we just never wasn't part of our era. It was. I mean, you were taught it, but in schools, when they started teaching out 5th, 6th grade. But I'm talking late 70s, early 80s. This wasn't a practice for people from my era. I mean, you did, and I was smart, but it just wasn't I don't know. We took a lot of chances in those days. Probably more than we probably should have. I should say a lot of people probably skated. You know, people think the classiest, richest, most sophisticated woman is the clean one. Nah, wrong. Wouldn't believe how some of them are nasty as hell. This fact stating out a fact. Money only buys you things that you couldn't have. Doesn't change who you are inside. It's a fact. If you were a gangbanger your whole life from 13, 12, 11, and you're in prison and you got 40 years, and you're 65 and you're still dressing like you were 16, you're a gangbanger until the day you die. That's how you're built. If you're a hooker at 9 years old, because you were molested by your uncles and aunts or whatever the hell happened to you in your life and became a stripper, you're a hooker. It's plain and simple. Daddy issues or uncle issues. You just can't change the core of somebody. You know? I grew up with a lot of people that didn't have no goals. They were content. They were content being that they were gonna have 10 kids and, you know, like 10 different daddies, and, you know, they grew up in the hood and they were gonna die in the hood. I know a lot of people. It's sad though. No goals. I used to talk to some of when I grew up, to people, and they're still, a couple of them I got in contact with over the years, and they're still content with the same way they were doing things 40 years. That's gotta have some kind of goal, don't you? At least try, make the effort. You might fail, but if you don't try, how do you know if you're gonna succeed? You know? It's like yesterday, you know, I lost out. It's a CatalanoTV. It's a garbage channel. We're not successful in any way, shape, or form. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe. But I'll tell you what, I get out there and work just as hard as anybody else, and I put the effort every day. So, if anybody says that as far as podcasting skills are not better than they were when I first started, then I definitely will be saying, you got an argument there. I'm nowhere near anything, but I'm definitely better when I first started out. So I understand it, you know. I understand. I know what mistakes I've made. I know how corporations treat people. I learned 10 months how BS the internet can be. You know, stuff that I really didn't pay no mind to. You know, my younger years, I was always hustling. I had to keep food on the table, clothes on the backs, buy books, do this, do that, pay bills. So, did what I had to do. John Gotti was quoted, if I wanted to be a UPS driver, if I wanted to make peanuts, I would have been a UPS driver. I'm a gangster. And leading us dry. If you're going to be a gangster and you're a criminal, you might as well for the big picture, right? And one thing about Mr. They said it streak all years that he was definitely a man's man and a gangster. One that was a pretty tough one. How do you not respect someone like that? Because I don't know. I just see things differently. Just because someone, you know, don't mean you don't respect them. People will say, well, they feared him. Maybe you're right. Maybe they knew if they didn't respect him, they'd be killed. I don't know. That's one theory. But I think he still deserves respect. All those guys in those areas deserve respect. You know, Al Capone is the #1 gangster money-wise. I believe he's the #1 in history of a gangster. That guy made, I don't know how many millions a day, bootlegging. Carlos Gambino, Tony Accardo, guys like that, who never spent Carlos Gambino and Tony Accardo never spent a day in jail, ever. Very smart individuals. Gotti was in charge of a $500 million enterprise of illegal money coming in a year. 500 million. You think that don't take talent? And I respect the people that are straight-laced and, you know, they wouldn't purposely break a law. I mean, they might have got a speeding ticket or a parking ticket, but they don't do it intentionally. A gangster, who's a real gangster, he's doing it purposely, because that's how he makes his living. So that takes talent. That's my whole point when I talk and try to make sense to these people. You know what? If I'm a scumbag, people say I'm a scumbag, hey, whatever. My point is, what's your end game? What are you accomplishing? That's my whole point. What are you accomplishing by calling me out? You know, I'm accountable for what I've done. So that's why I come to the conclusion. If you ain't gonna face me man to man, shut up. That's simple. Because you ain't gonna win. But you know, every once in a while, you get blessed with some information. And when the tables start turning, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna be as evil as them? Or I'm just gonna let it go. That all determines how my thinking process is gonna be. Do they deserve it? By far, no doubt. They deserve everything in tenfold. Especially 3 of them. You know, so. But I always said, just remember, karma's a bitch. Karma is a bitch. The people that are evil. I've never believed in hurting anybody that was ever kind to you or helped you. Never. Just ain't in me. Hurt innocent people. Scumbag, if he wants to play with fire, he's gonna get burned. That's the way I look at it. So the next scandal you're gonna hear is I'm blackmailing 3 trolls. That's just letting you put you guys ahead of me. I didn't say blackmail money, it said pay the toll. Pay the toll, troll. That's what that is. You want to continue pay the toll. Pay the toll. But they're gonna mastermind in the imagination of them that I'm blackmailing them. Like you have a story already printed out all over the internet. You wanna know why? Because he's the biggest jerk off that don't exist to anybody. 3 from UK and 1 in Canada. The one in Canada is the one that blows me away. Base pilled. Is he a pilled out pill guy? Is that why he's got that name? He's an idiot on a punk. That's for sure. He's got balls. But they're little boys. I didn't realize how young. All little boys, wet behind the ears. Who thought this whole man was gonna lay down. And they were gonna just call shots. Boy. Gave them a run for all their money, didn't I? It's getting better because 2 more to go. 2 more to go! And we are getting serious. And we're close. Very close. But I'm not dumb. I'm no good. I'm a loser. Yep. That's me. I was once asked as a young man in my 20s, if it came to your life versus someone else's life, would you be able to take that life? Someone was going to try to take my life. Without a doubt, I could, yes. Do would I ever want to? No. But if someone tried to take my life, I think I'd have no qualms of taking their life. You understand what I'm saying here, right? If someone came at me to take my life, I would have no problem taking theirs. You understand the difference? I think I would definitely say that I would have that in me. Do I believe it's wrong? Nope. Not if they're trying to kill you. Would I want it to go down like that? No. I do everything in my power to prevent something like that from happening. Once something happens, if someone took my life, you can't bring that life back. So that weighs on anybody. I got a friend that wasn't a nice guy. He was a gangbanger his whole life. and he's 2 years older than me. He's 60, and he softened a lot. And I think his conscience got very heavy because he's being haunted. I know he is because he talks. He's not in the right mind, especially when you get a conscience for all the bad you did like that. He was hardcore, you know. He had to. That was his lifestyle. You could tell. Look at any gangster. Look at any of these true gangsters from the mafia. You could look in their eyes and see death. You see how cold their eyes are, and you just look at them and you go, "Wow." You see all that death in his eyes. You can tell he's a stone cold killer. Same with street gangbangers. You could a true gangbanger. I'm talking a killer. Someone that don't second guess anything when it comes to life or death. You see it in their eyes. Trust me, you will. I bet you a lot of people, they've seen that look. It's a look that is so cold. It's wow. They just got the darkest, deep eyes. There's nothing there but death. And that, imagine, for long years, most of those guys, they don't expect to live past 5. So they, let alone be living into their 60s after all the bad they done. You know, like I said, the heart softens. You grow a conscience. And all that could do is make you one miserable person in life until you die. That's why most of those guys, they think they're going to be dead at 25, especially gangbangers. They don't expect to live past 25 because they know that if they live by the sword, they're going to die by it. But a few of them get out. A few of them get out and they make it to old age. And I imagine that's one tough thing to do. So, am I making any sense? Just trying to be calm and cool and collective and just trying to connect with you people. I wish a lot more we had, some really good questions to ask me. You know, I'm pretty easygoing. You know, I'm talking life, just good questions. You know, I've always hoped that I would get to that relationship with the chatters. That, you know, they see for me that I'm a real person and I've got a lot that I've lived through and felt I could make a connection with a lot of you guys and get deep conversations. You know, that would be cool. I think that would be cool. I think I've always considered myself someone that could teach. I want to help. You know, I have a lot of dreams to help. My wife wants to. Kids, teenagers, pregnant teens, girls, that are scared to tell their parents they're pregnant. Parents just throw them on the street. You know, they need help. They're human beings. You know, or young kids who already committed murder by the time they're 12, because they know how to pull the trigger. But do you think in their mind they're really developing what they really? I don't know. I know that to be true, but they can be fixed. I think anybody can be fixed. It's just people out here that need someone to just get their back. You know. I mean, the internet is one thing for sure. It brings out a lot of people that want to hurt children. A lot of that happened. You know, you just watch news and these channels that do stories on these people, that predators that are on the internet that go after teenage girls and boys. It's sad, man. For people like that, I think they were born defective. I think when you're at that stage in your life, you've got to have a defective brain. You're just twisted somewhere. Your gene pool or something. You don't have the proper DNA somewhere. Something's off when you go to those extremes, like a Gacy or a Ted Bundy. Definitely not properly formulated inside DNA and all that. Brain cells are defective somewhere. You know, kind of like Frankenstein, 1931 this time. He said he go to the lab to get a brain. And he took the bad brain. Dr. Frankenstein, he thought he got the good brain. He put a man's brain into a monster 7 feet tall. What did he do? He craved it all. It's the same. That's how he was built. So, a lot of people don't believe in religion. A lot of people don't believe in power. A lot of people believe when they're gone, they're gone. It's just it. You're going around. You're either as or on the ground in a casket, and you're dead, and that's it. I understand that. I understand people get that cold in thinking. I don't make them bad people. I don't know much about atheist people. I know it exists. You know, some people just got turned by religion because maybe they were really involved in church growing up, and somewhere along the way they were broken. You know, the biggest frauds are the Catholic priests. I mean, they get so protected in exile, and look at what they do to kids. It's sad, man. It's sad. So I don't know. So I can understand. Or when you turn on the TV and some little kid was brutally killed, and you go, where's God? I understand that. I've been there. Stranger just turned on TV. A parent just killed his 16-year-old son the other day. I read the article. Father killed his 16-year-old son. Now, the father was either a gangbanger or he was a pastor. That's what I come out of because of the father. Or the kid was a gangbanger and was just a bad seed, and the father was good, and maybe he was a pastor, so he felt he did what they did to Marvin Gaye. You know, Marvin Gaye's father thought he was evil. His father shot him. His father got, what, 30 years in a mental ward? I think he spent 30 years or something like that. Great tragedy. Marvin Gaye was a hell of a singer. I believe that happened in 1983. I believe that's the year, summer of 83. But I'm a guy that believes Elvis was still alive up until a couple years ago. I don't know. I really do. I believe that too many coincidences Elvis is being cited over the years. And he did a federal agent badge. And the rumor is that he did some big cases against the wrong people that wanted to kill him, and he went witness protection. And he was done. He wanted to be out. The colonel was bleeding him dry. He was broke. He was worth more dead. And they gave him John Burroughs. They found and tracked down a John Burroughs that lived in California. Apparently was supposed to be Elvis Presley. Now they're saying this pastor guy, everything matches. And then there's this one guy that went to a psychiatrist and he took his DNA and it matched to a T. But then a lot of people say maybe his twin brother Jesse Garrett really didn't die. I don't know. Too many coincidences for me. I'm a believer Elvis did not die in 1977. I believe there was a massive cover-up. But am I crazy? To you guys, you probably think, boy, he's really off his rocker now. Elvis died in 1977, August 16th, about 3:20 p.m. Central Time. I could tell you what I was doing. I was in the locker room. I was at the urinal taking a leak. When it came over, it was announced by the club announcers. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was a big Elvis fan. Still am. You gotta admit, a man can sing. Do you know Frank Sinatra hated his guts? Frank Sinatra went as far as almost having a contract on Elvis Presley. That's true. He didn't like the fact that he was dating Nancy. He hated Elvis. Frank Sinatra was a connected, very well connected. All right. Let's see if these people are going to run me over or let me go. Thank you. Got my water out of my pocket. It fell out of my pocket. I'm almost home. But anyhow, glad to be back doing the stream. 10 pounds. I feel like I've accomplished something that was good for my life. Something I needed. I know a lot of people it's been inspiring and got them to exercise, and I just wanted to connect with you guys. If I'm a sickle for that, you know, I really am a decent person. You can know me, but I'm also crazy as a next person. You know, I'm bipolar, I guess. I have mood swings. I'm hot, cold 1 minute, angry. That's just me. But I keep it real. I keep it 100 with everybody. You know. What's up, bro? I walk tall and I keep my head up high. I'm not afraid of. There's too many things I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of snakes. I'm afraid of rats. Stuff like that. I don't like reptiles. As far as another human being, no sense of being afraid. What are two things can happen? Either you win or they win. You gotta stand up for yourself, first and foremost. That I promote to anybody. And there are people out there that just never had the opportunity to see anything bad, thank you, or fight. They ever fought in their life, and they just were trying to be a perfect citizen, a good person, a good-hearted person. And you know, I think it's a combination. When someone turns out real bad, it's either their mother held them too tight, or their father beat them to death. You know, something like that. You know, life will knock anybody down if you let it. There's no hell. We live in hell. This is where the devil roams. We're on hell as our life. So there's only heaven. We live in hell every day. It's a cynical world and a cruel world. That's for sure. So I thank everybody. I'm not gonna, like I said, I got a photo appointment I got. So you know, I try to talk as much as I can. Try to make a connection with people. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, show you that I know how to act. And when I get angry, there's a reason. You know? Sometimes I don't understand, or I jump the gun and I'll put the cart before the horse. I'm guilty of that all the way around. And most of the time, I know what I'm talking about. I really do, when it comes to this everyday life. This world will beat you up and knock you down and beat you up and beat you up if you let it. Most people want to be cruel and hateful. Sad. If everybody loved each other, we wouldn't have hate. So, you know, do I think when I lost everything because of my mistake, it's like the hardest thing in the world for me was to come out of prison at my age and just have to start all over again, like I'm 15 or 16 again. Not easy at my age, you know, but I got no one to blame but myself, so I understand it. It's either going to work for me, or I'm just going to be stuck like this the rest of my life till I die. I don't know. I'm surely trying to do everything I can to be a good person. Yeah, I got to renew my tag. I got to go renew my tag. I got a great, that band is great. Oh, have I got any mail? Let's see. What do we got here? Nope, that's not me. What's me? This. Advertising. But anyhow, I'm glad we got to do this. The talking cat. I agree, we're in hell. I mean, it's gotta be, right? Thank you everybody for being here. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I wish everybody well today. Take care.